Hello everyone. Today I will teach you English literature of 7th class, and this is chapter number 17, and it's a poem, and the name of this poem is Traveling, composed by Robert Louis Stevenson. Actually, this poem expresses the imagination of children. Actually, there is a boy who wants to visit many places, and he imagines so many places. He imagines Africa, he imagines China, he imagines to go to Egypt, and there he wants to spend some time. He wants to go to these places. He wants to go to Andaman Nicobar Island, and he wants to know about the life of these places. He wants to enjoy these places. He wants to stay there for some time. And this poem expresses the imagination of a child, a boy. So let's talk about first of all the theme of this poem. The poem is written in the voice of a boy who has an imagination of traveling for far away places that are both real and fictional. Some real places and some fictional places. Actually, right from the beginning, I have seen that children have a desire to go to many places. They want to go different places. They want to know about the life of these places. They want to go on picnic also. And this is a kind of refreshment of mind for them. Thus, we can say that this is the tendency of the children, this is the thinking of the children, that the best passing time is to go to various places, visit these places, know about the life of these places. This is the best thing. Everybody remains very curious to go to various places and enjoy a new life there, forgetting the tensions of everyday life. So here the poet expresses the feelings of that child who wants to go to different places, and he wants to stay there for some time. He wants to know about the life of these places, and he wants to stay there for some time in nature. So he talks about the various places where he will visit. Through this poem, he has expressed his emotions, he has expressed his feelings to go to various places of various countries, and he begins with Andaman Nicobar Island in India. It is a famous island, as we know. So he begins with this place, and afterwards he goes to some eastern cities, but in imagination. He is saying that when he will be grown up, then he will go to these places. Okay, so let's begin this poem. I should like to rise and go where the golden apples grow, where below another sky, Parrot Islands. Parrot Islands is a part of Andaman Nicobar Island. Okay, children? Anchored lie, anchor, which is used in ship. When ship is stopped at any place, then anchors are thrown in water to make it stable. Okay, so that is called anchor. The poet expresses his desire as a child. What does a child think? So as a child he is expressing his feelings. He is saying that I should like to rise and go. Means he will wake up and he will go to that place where the golden apples grow. He is doing imagination. This is his imagination, that he will go to that place where the apples, golden apples grow. Actually, this is that imaginative place where Hercules lived for some time. He spent some time there. So this is that imaginative place. So he is saying that he should wake up, he should rise, and he should go to that place where the golden apples grow, where below another sky, and he wants to go to another sky. He has become bored living in the same situation, living in the same type of life and under the same sky. So he wants an open sky and he wants a different kind of life for some time. So for that he is doing imagination, that he will go to that place where golden apples grow and where the sky is of different kind. And he will go to the Parrot Island, which is a part of Andaman Nicobar Island, and he will put the anchor of the ship there. He will stop his ship there in Andaman Nicobar Island, and Parrot Island, where number of parrot bird, means there are many parrots live in this place freely, because it is thought that human inhabitation is not there. So humans do not live there. That's why birds can live there easily. This is thought. So he will go to this place, Parrot Island, and he will stop his ship there and watched by cockatoos and gods. Cockatoos is a kind of parrot which has a strong beak. Beak, you know? Okay. So he says that he will go to Parrot Island and he will watch to the strong beaked parrots. He will see the parrots of a strong beak there, and he will see the gods also. It means he will find their parrots and he will find their gods. He will also find their lonely Crusoe's building boats. Crusoe's means the shipwrecked man. Shipwrecked man. So shipwrecked man is building their boats. So he will go there and he will see that in loneliness, shipwrecked man is making boats. So he will go to that place and he will see that person also. He will also go to that place where in sunshine reaching out. It means he will go to that place from where the sunshine is coming out and going to the eastern cities. From where the sunshine is coming and going to the eastern cities. So he will go to that point also. Well, he will go to eastern cities. Miles about are with mosque and minaret. And in these cities there are many mosques and minaret. Minaret, you know, is spire. Spire like Qutub Minar. It's a kind of minaret. Okay. So these places are full of mosques and minaret. So he will go to that place also. And these places are full of sand. These places are full of sand. So he will go to the sandy gardens also. Sandy gardens means the gardens full of sand. So he will go to those sandy gardens also, and the rich goods from near and far hang for sale in the bazaar, and these places are full of very rich goods. Goods means things. Okay, from near and far you can see so many things for selling near and far, hanging for sale in bazaar. Okay, so he will go to these places where he will find, where there are many mosques, there are many minaret, and there are many sandy gardens, and the markets are, the bazaars are full of rich goods which are for selling, which are hanging for selling. So there are many things which are hanging for selling in these places. There he will go. He's also expecting, he's also imagining that he will go to the place where the Great Wall round China goes. It means he will go to China also. He will go to the Great Wall of China. He will also go to visit the Great Wall of China. And on one side the desert goes, and one side of this wall there is a great desert, and with the voice and bell and drum, and from that place the voice of bell, the voice of drum comes. In the cities, on the other hum means noise. So he can also hear the noise of the city, the hum of the city. Cities are full of such type of sound. He wants to say that cities are full of such type of sounds, like the voice of bell, the voice of drum. So the voice of bell, the voice of drum can be heard there, to that place where he is standing nearby the wall of China. Well, he will also go, he says that he will also go to the place where are forests hot as fire. It means the forests are just like so much hot as fire. So he wants to go to that place where the forests are as hot as fire. It means a lot of heat is there. He is talking about the summer season. So he will go to those forests also which are heat up like fire, which are heating up just like fire. So he would like to go to those places also. Wide as England, tall as a spire, and these forests are as wide as England, means so big as England, and so tall as minaret. Spire means minaret. I gave you an example of minaret, that is Qutub Minar. Okay, full of apes, and these forests are full of apes. Apes, you know, monkeys, and coconut. And these places are full of coconut trees. Okay, so let's repeat this paragraph once again. And the rich goods from near and far. You know, the goods of nearby places, the goods of far off places, the goods of various places, means different things of different places are hanging there for selling in the market. Okay, and he will also go to the Great Wall of China, and to this wall, nearby this wall, one side is full of the great desert, and from that place various voices are coming. The voices of bell, the voice of drum are coming from these places, and the city is full of such type of sound. Cities are full of various sounds. So he is talking about the various kinds of sound which is coming from the Great Wall of China. Okay. Well, he will also go to the forests which are as heated up as fire. The forests are full of heat as fire, and these forests are very big like England. He is comparing these forests just like England, so big as England and so high as minaret. and these forests are full of monkey, apes means monkey, and coconut trees. And he can also see in these forests the Negro hunters hunts. Negro is a kind of human being. Okay, this is also a kind of race. This is also a kind of community which is found in Africa, which is found in America. Okay, I want to give you an example of Negroes like Nelson Mandela, presently Serena Williams from America. These are some of the examples of this community. Black people of Africa, they are considered as Negroes. It is thought about this race that they have not developed completely. They have not fully changed into humans. This is thought about Negroes. So there is a racial discrimination in America with them and Africa also. Nelson Mandela raised his voice against apartheid system. So this system was of Negroes. Apartheid system. It means they were thought as slaves. Negroes are considered as they have not developed like other human beings. Okay. So the poet says that Negro hunters will be hunting there in these forests. Okay, so he will see the hunting, the way of hunting of these Negroes hunters. What they are hunting, he will see them. Next paragraph, where the naughty crocodile, naughty means very rough and tough. Crocodile lies and blinks in the Nile. Now he has reached Egypt. Nile river is found in Egypt. Okay, so he has reached Egypt now. He is saying that he will go to Egypt also, where the rough and tough crocodiles are sitting on the bank of Nile river and they are blinking. Blinking means opening and shutting of the eyes. Opening and closing of the eyes. Like this. Okay? This is called blinking. So he says that he will go to river Nile, where the rough and tough crocodiles are opening and closing their eyes. And afterwards, and the red flamingo flies hunting fish before his eyes. He is saying that he will also see there flamingo bird. Flamingo is a kind of bird. Okay, so he will see red flamingo bird there, which is flying there and which is trying to hunt fish. So he will see this hunting of flamingo bird. How is the flamingo bird hunting? How is the flamingo bird hunting fish? He will see to it. Okay, so he will enjoy this hunting of flamingo bird also in Nile river. Okay, where in jungles near and far, man devouring tigers are. Man devouring means man eating, which can eat humans. Okay, so he is saying that he will also go to that place in that jungle. These places are near and far. These jungles are near and far. So he will go to these jungles and he will find there tigers, man-eating tigers, which are waiting for humans there. Which are waiting for humans there. They will hunt humans there. So he is saying that he will go to those jungles also, lying close and giving ear. And these tigers are so careful that they are sitting there and closing their eyes, and they are very concentrated on the sound of coming someone. And their ears, they have given their ears to the sound of the comer. Comer means the person who is coming. Lest the hunt be drawing near. Why they are so careful? Why they are so cautious? Why they are giving their ears to the coming sound, because they are in search of their prey and they are waiting for anyone who can come to the tigers, because the one who is coming there doesn't know that tigers are waiting for their prey there. Okay, so lest the prey will come there and the tigers will hunt their prey. So they have given their ears to the sound, they are fully concentrating to the coming sound, or a comer by be seen swinging in the palanquin. Palanquin, you know, a covered litter for one person. You know, in ancient time, palanquin was used to carry brides to one place to another place. So 4 people picked up that on their shoulders, and there was a chamber on bamboos, okay, like this. And one used to sit inside this chamber. Okay, so 2 people used to lift up this from this side, and 2 people used to lift up from this side. Okay, so it was used in ancient time for carrying people from one place to another place. This was one of the sources of carrying the people from one place to another place in ancient time. Now it is not used. Okay, so that is called palanquin. So tigers are also waiting for the person who is coming in the swinging palanquin, where among the desert sands some deserted city stands, and these places, and he will go to those places also where there is a lot of sand of the desert. It means he will go to the deserted place, means the places which are full of sand. He will go to the deserts, and he will go to some deserted city stands, all its children sweep and prince. It means the children of these places, either they were sweepers or they were prince. Okay, and now they had grown up to their manhood. It means they had become men. Ages since, it means before long time they had got their manhood and they had gone to some other places from there. So he would like to go to those places, and grown to manhood ages since, not a foot in a street or house, not a stir of child or mouse. And he will go to that place where he will not find any child, he will not find any mouse here and there. Okay, he will go to that place where there will be no child, there will be no mouse, okay, for creating nuisance, for creating commotion. Well, and now he says that he will go to that place where he will not find any child, he will not find any mouse. Okay, and when kindly falls the night, and he says that when the night will come, in all the town no spark of light, because there is no person there. That is completely deserted city. Deserted city means there is no person now in these cities, but only the structures of the buildings are standing. So he will go to these places where he will not find anyone, he will not find any child there, he will not find any mouse there. There he would like to stay for some time, and he knows well that there will be no spark of light in these cities, because there is no person there. These are deserted cities. Deserted means no one is there now. Children of that place, they had grown up and they had gone away to some other places. Only buildings are left. So he would like to go to these places. He would like to stay to these places for some time. He knows well that at night there will be no spark of light. Now he says that there I will come when I am a man. He says that he will come to these places when he will become a man. Now he is a child, this time he is a child. But when he will grow up, when he will be a man, then he will go to these deserted places. Okay, it says that he will go to these deserted places, and he will hire there a caravan of camel. With a camel caravan, he says there, I'll come when I am a man with a camel caravan. Camel caravan, it means a group of camels. So he says that he will go to these places and he will hire a caravan of camels. Okay, then he will go to these places. Light a fire in gloom. Gloom means darkness, and he says that he will light a fire in these dark places. He says that he will light a fire in these dark places of some dusty dining room. There are some dining rooms of these buildings which are full of dust. So he would like to he would like to sweep the dust of these places. He would like to go to these places and he would like to light fire in these places. He says that he will go to these deserted places and he would like to light fire in the darkness. And he says of some dusty dining rooms. It means in the dining room of these buildings he would like to go, and because there will be a darkness inside because nobody is living there. So he himself would like to light a fire in these dark dining rooms of the building. Now he says, see the pictures on the walls. He says there will be many paintings on the wall, there will be many pictures on the walls of the dining room, and the pictures of heroes, the pictures of fights, and the pictures of festivals. Okay, and in a corner find the toys, and he will find different toys of the children who have become men now, and they have migrated from there. So they have left their toys behind and in the dining rooms. So when he will light up fire, he will light a fire in the dining room. He will see the paintings of the heroes, the paintings of the fights, the paintings of festivals on the walls, and he will see in one corner of that dining room some toys of children, of the old Egyptian boys. The old Egyptian boy, it means he is in Egypt this time, deserted place, means only buildings are left, but the children of that place have grown up and they have migrated from that place, and they have left only buildings, structure of buildings there and nothing else. Their toys are still there in the dining rooms, paintings are still there in the dining room. So he will go to these buildings, and in the dining room there will be darkness. So he will light a fire there, and when he will light a fire there, he will see what? He will see the paintings of heroes, the paintings of fight, and the paintings of festivals, and the toys of children in these places. Okay children, this poem is over now, so let's talk about the rhyming scheme of this poem. Rhyming scheme, I want to tell you, rhyming scheme means the sound of the last word of each line. Okay, so the first word, let's talk about, it is see, the last word of the first line is go, last word of the second line is go, last word of third line is sky, and the last word of fourth line is lie. Okay, so see the first paragraph, go and grow, both sounds are matching with each other. So you will give alphabet A to this, and same sound, if you find the same sound anywhere in the poem, you will give the same alphabet to that word. So here you will also give A. The sky is different, lie is different, so you will give a different alphabet, and that will be B. The same pattern has been followed by the poet for writing this poem. In the whole poem, he has followed this pattern of writing poem. See next paragraph. Gods, then boats, then out, then about. So different kind of sounds, different alphabet. So now A you have used, B and D you have used. So now new alphabet, C you will give to gods. Okay, gods, C, boats, C. Both sounds are matching with each other. Boats, boats, boats and boats. So you will give the same alphabet to both these words C and C. Now different sound, out, about, out, about. Same kind of sound. So you will give the same alphabet to these two, like D and D. It means the sound of the first word. It means the last word of first line. The sound of the last word of the first line is matching with the sound of the last word of the second line. So you will give the same alphabet. And the last word of third line, the sound of the last word of third line is matching with the sound of the fourth line. The same pattern the poet has followed in the whole poem. The poet has used this pattern of writing poetry. In this whole poem he has used this pattern. You can see yourself if you find out the rhyming scheme. If you are asked, what is the rhyming scheme? Overall rhyming scheme of this poem, then you will say it is A-A-B-B. It means in whole poem, if you see that the first line is matching with the second and third line is matching with the fourth. First line is matching with the second and third line is matching with the fourth. So this pattern has been followed by the poet in the whole poem. So the overall rhyming scheme of the poem will be A-A-B-B. Okay, keep this in mind, and the rest of the paragraphs you will find yourselves, and you will come to know that the same pattern has been followed by the poet in writing this poem. Okay children, I hope that you have understood this poem, and in my next video I will teach you chapter number 4. Okay, till then, goodbye.